Before I start the information in this video, I'm going to ask every single one of you, when you finish listening to this video, save it, play it again with your eyes shut. Close your eyes and do not look at the screen. Lay down and meditate, do the winner breathing, take some deep breaths and listen to this video again. Take my advice. You'll be amazed what the outcome will be and how different it'll be. You'll be amazed at how different of an influence it will have on your reality if you lay down and you close your eyes and you do some deep breathing process with winner breathing and listen to this video again. I urge any person that's come here to watch the videos linked to this post, especially the last two testimonies I made this morning. And 1 to 10 is very powerful with information that no one else is giving you worldwide. And it's best if you listen to it with your eyes shut and just listen to my words. Trust me, it will have a profound effect on your reality. It'll have a far more profound effect on your reality that you relate to, that will make more sense to you when you don't think and you don't judge mentally and you don't use your eyes with the 5 sense world, but lay down and meditate and listen carefully. It'll have a completely different side effect. You'll feel me and you'll feel the truth and you'll feel the Father working through me. You'll feel how shit works around here. You'll feel it yourself. You don't realize the weight I have on my shoulder, and there's nothing I can do to run away from it. There's nothing I can do to change the circumstances that I'm in. And you cannot possibly understand in any way, shape, or form. And it's impossible for any one of you out there to understand, as I am the only one of a kind worldwide in the biggest study done for 34 years and DNA study done. I brought someone back to life with peer reports in 1992 under CCTV with the most powerful opponent in 2003, the one and only. And it's been studied with interviews. The most powerful divine intervention, the most powerful miracle ever seen and recorded with 7 peer reports and CCTV. 1992, Ipswich Hospital, Kirsty Nancy flatlines with the drug overdose, Narcan, put in the hospital in emergency with 7 doctors and nurses working on her frantically, giving her 0% chance of living. She flatlines a second time. Then her body lifts from one end to the other, 8 inches off the bed, a solid bed, one end to the other, 8 inches up in midair, and her heart monitor comes back on. They pump her stomach frantically as she's in very much danger, okay, trying to save her life, still pumping her stomach. This doesn't happen once or twice, it happens 3 times. Each time she lifts higher on CCTV, 7 peer reports, and been studied very critically by the biggest think tank in the world and the most powerful biologists in the world, with interviews. And she's not the only one. There are more. There are more I brought back to life the same with divine power to command nature. There are more. But this one is the most powerful evidence with 7 peer reports and CCTV ever recorded anywhere in the world in 1992, 33 years ago. In the biggest study done, I am the only one of a kind worldwide that can do what Christ can and more. I'm the only one warned about in the Bible that would teach the resurrection of humanity. And you'll know by the tools and by the design and the mark on earth that I live here. And the book that unfolds with evidence perfectly, with days shall be predicting the future perfectly. The book that unfolds with evidence perfectly, predicting the future, and no one can debunk, no one discredit it. It proves that the world's mentally insane and have zero faith in me at all. And you have to be in my shoes, because you're not qualified to judge nothing, not in the mentality you live in, with amnesia. You cannot do what I can do, and I can do everything Christ can and more in the biggest study done by the biggest think tank and the most powerful peer reports ever developed in modern history. There's more evidence about me than Christ himself, that I can do what Christ can and more. There's more solid evidence developed with me with 50 meters of documents, by the biggest think tank, by the biggest scholars, by the most powerful professionals in the world. In DNA studies done, the biggest miracles, the most divine intervention ever recorded in history, by atheists, by anti-clockwise people. You didn't follow the Christ's footsteps to go in the mindset that he was in, to think outside the mind, to master the mind, use 100% of his brain, with mental telepathy, ESP, remote you, and telekinesis, levitation, spoon bending, clock winding. Deja vu to predict the future, prevent what's going to happen, and bring someone back to life, and harness that kind of power. Harnessing the divine power to command nature. And when you're the only one in the world, the only one of a kind that can do this, with the most powerful biblical prophecies that lands in your date of birth, 5 of them, you cannot lie, nor can anyone else, which means they're mentally insane. And I'm the only one qualified to know that. I'm the last Christ that comes with the resurrection and protect the elect with the book Freedom by Jeremy McGivers, held by 16,000 top scholars, the Holy Grail of life, the cure of the human condition that's going to save humanity, with the Holy Breath of life, Winner Be the program, who's won a Nobel Prize with their credential, to recreate the second degreeson that you cannot conduct with, to use your sixth sense, to see with the third eye with dimensional thinking, remote viewing, deja vu to predict the future, prevent what's going to happen, to do what I can and more. You live in denial, a species in denial worldwide, in delusional parasitosis, in a delusional state. You did not follow my footsteps, and you don't even care. You have no faith at all. You got no aura in your body cells. They're in corruption, collusion during the daytime. They only repair 3 hours a night. We're clockwise 24 hours a day. We repair everything. We have no mental sources and no DNA defects, only the elect. And you are told the elect will not be deceived, and everybody else in the world will be. The Bible warned you about that. Now DNA backs it up. You don't believe the Bible or DNA or the top scholars in the world. You only believe yourself. And here's the facts you cannot face. You're trapped in mentality. You're trapped in a personality. You're trapped inside your vessel. You're not in control of your vessel. You're not the mastermind of your own vessel. You cannot use 100% of your brain. You can only use 7 to 15 most. At your best, the highest IQ people in the world can only use 15% of their brain. I use 100%. Who do you want to believe in? I'll tell you who you believe in. Mental species. You mentally resonate with consciousness and illusion, imagination, a mental event, a mental process, because you're mental. You're a mental species. You have no spirituality at all. You have no sixth sense to see the vision that tells you 1,000 words of dimensional thinking that cannot lie to you. You don't have a universal language. You don't have sevenfold wisdom knowledge. You can't think outside the mind with the universal language because you don't have that kind of relationship in your primordial motor skills. You don't have in tune to the codependent power. None. You're always anti-clockwise. So you'll talk, no action. You're just an actor for someone else because you can't control your own mind. You can't master your own mind 100%. So you're not organic. You're not making natural selection. In fact, you don't even have faith in your own biological genes to use your own natural selection with genetic process and genetic memory and your ancestry tools coded in your own DNA with a 24th chromosome that can use superhuman abilities and more, supernatural power. And you have none of it. You just all talk like your social media platform actors, American Hollywood spinners, and actors that's got no aura in their body cells, only in corruption and illusion during the daytime, and only here 3.5 hours a night. They're delusional. Every witness is a delusion. Everyone's artificial. Everyone's every imitation. Everyone followed the Antichrist anti-clockwise in their own body, in their own DNA, and they don't believe in it. They're speaking in denial. They depend on grammar. He said, she said, the documents, but they can't think clockwise. They can't use their natural selection life. They can't use their natural order. And when you know that people spend throwing stones at you your whole life, and you were always the one that was right, and they call you a freak of nature your whole life, and said you talk word salad when they're artificial human beings, using the wrong grammar and the wrong barcode, especially New Age. New Age that lives in consciousness, mentality, no spirituality at all. Zero. 98.7% has mental disorder and defects. 600 to 7,000 defective genes in every single Westerner, and 77% of their children born with chronic diseases because they're species in denial from generation to generation, and they cannot use their genetic process or their genetic memory because it's in dormancy. They have amnesia, trapped in a reincarnation trap, and they do not know what they do in their mind. They don't know what they're doing in their mind. They think they do with an high IQ. That only makes them good at what they do, but in fact not intelligent, because they believe in their own truth and come to their own conclusion with reasoning, which is the age of nefarious. It's 5 cents of negative fears, and that's what you raise, your IQ. Artificial intelligence and robots to fact check Google yourself, and all you care about is yourself and possessed with your own opinions. And that's what you write all your books, and that's your book smart education, and that's all you design on every book, on every medication, write on reverse psychology with an opinion. And that's been declared by 45,000 teachers and 16,000 top scholars, that you listen to the wrong voice of the mind, and all your book smart education and movies and every single thing on social media platform is nothing more than your opinions. Your self-centered opinions, because you're selfish species, trapped into yourself. You're not trapped in mentality. I mean, you're trapped in mentality, not spirituality. You're not in your primordial state. You're not innocent. You're not selflessness. You are a personality in your mentality with artificial intelligence that you select with the wrong grammar, and that's your EMP pulse. With principality in the power in the air that controls you, that you give consent to on a daily basis and don't believe in it. Hey, you're living in a personality, and the voice of mind's a personality, and that's what you believe in the most, a personality. You have no faith in your own biological genes to make a natural selection, a natural order, where God gives you the power to command nature and master your mind is 100% of your brain. And you cannot. You cannot. And you know what it's like to be in my shoes? Do you? You haven't got a fucking clue. Every pastor, priest, New Age and Christian throws stones at me. Every single one is a jealous, spiteful coward and haven't got a care factor as they lost their aura and they lost their feelings. They can no longer feel the truth between right, wrong, good, and evil. They can no longer use their aura. They no longer have real, genuine, codependent relationships. They've got no soulmate relationship whatsoever in any Westerner. They have no soulmate relationships, and they're not humble species who lives by the quantum mechanic of a relationship only. Only with loyalty, honor, respect, moral inspiration, commitment, and no other tools are required. You don't cause people to stumble. You help them get back on their feet. You walk with the enemy. You work with the enemy. You love the enemy. You love everybody. You understand they don't know any better when they're living in their mind mentality. You have the great understanding to understand they do not know what they do and they do not know any better. But you don't criticize people and run them down. You take them under their wing and show them the right ropes. With honesty is the best policy. And create a reputation by word of mouth. Not on some sort of marketing strategy or creating a name for yourself on social media platform with artificial intelligence to justify what you believe in. You're nothing like me. Not even remotely close. Nothing like me. I'm in the Christ image, so I should know. With the most powerful confirmation and the most powerful biblical signs, 5 biblical signs lands on my date of birth. 27, the Holy Spirit, divine light, and scars for justice. September, scars for justice. And you're not living by any justice. You're not righteousness. You don't live by the vineyard rule equally, how to govern life equally. You don't live by the quantum mechanics of a relationship. You don't live by 2 simple commandments that God gave, Christ, to love one another and bear another's burdens in flesh, and live by the quantum mechanics of a relationship with the universal language and the law of life. The vineyard rule is how you govern life with the laws of life. You live by the laws of Gandhi. Go Google it. You live by the laws of Gandhi. Your whole system does. every atheist does, every Western does. It's all about me, myself, and I, and all about me, all about me, all about me. And that's every single Westerner. All about me, all about me, all about me, all about me, myself, and I, me, myself, and I, me, myself, and I. And that's the only thing they write in all their books. It's their opinions declared worldwide. That all their book smart education is only an opinion, anti-clockwise, antichrist in their body cells. And they live in denial. A species declared in denial worldwide with delusion parasitosis in mentality. And that's their reality in their personality. They've got no aura. They've got no power. They just lie and steal contents and are credit thieves, actors, American spinners, and Hollywood characters. And that's all they are. Actors and characters, zombies and robots going into massive global extinction. Stripped from the sixth sense for the sixth time in the sixth mass extinction. And there's no way out of this one. If you don't restore your biology and go back into primal state to think instinctively and think outside the mind, you haven't got a hope in hell. You haven't got a hope in hell. You can say what you like, but your grammar and your artificial intelligence and your religious, political cults and New Age ain't going to get you out of this one. You haven't got a hope in hell. 99.999% of every Westerner throws stones at me because they're anti-clockwise, they're anti-Christ. And I'm the last Christ. And you know, I got put in the cross last time for telling the truth. And everybody threw stones at me. And I told you at 24, I woke up from amnesia and learned life, right? Reincarnation trap and life after life. I learned reincarnation, life after life. And at 24, I went for a 40-day test. I went for a fasting, faced a demon head on. And what did I say to you? At 24, I discovered who I am. I'm son of David, son of Abraham. I'm son of Christ, David, and Abraham today. And you were told you would not know who I am. And you won't have any faith in me. And you will all throw stones at me. And the Bible says you will be devoured. And you fucking will be, you low-life reptilians. I promise you. I have put up with your crap, right, for 33 fucking years. Mainstream media, 33 years ago. Mastermind reports, mainstream media many times. You couldn't care less. You never did. Not one of you, or pastor, priest, or Christian, ever cared about being in the Christ image when I can bring someone back to life and you can't. And no one else can neither. No one. Worldwide. Nobody. I'm the only one. Imagine how the Father feels. Imagine how the Father really feels when I'm developed to be the only one. Do you feel it? Do you feel what he feels? When he knows that everyone you throw stones at me, he knows you're disgusting, filthy reptilians and self-centered creatures and you're a liar. You don't have a relationship. You don't know him for a bar of soap. He doesn't know you because if he knew, I'd know. The Father sent me. Every feeling going through him right now goes through me. Goes through me. I feel every single thing he feels. I have the two-edged sword. I am the one and only. I am the Trinity. I am the one. Archangel Michael. I am Metatron. I'm the gymnastic web. I am divine power to command nature. I am the light. I am the only one. You have no idea. The Father's in me. The Father's in me. And I am the one. I am. I am the truth. I'm the only truth in the world. I'm the only real truth with the most powerful confirmation on earth. I am the only one. Do you know what that's like to be me? Do you have any fucking idea what it's like to be in my shoes? No, you don't. You wouldn't have a clue. But you all think you do. You wouldn't have a clue, but you all think you do. Because you're mental. Because you're mental. Because you're mental and you're a liar and you're a credit thief. And that's all you're good for. A liar and a credit thief and a liar. And you lie to yourself. You don't give a flying fuck. You don't really care about nothing but yourself. That's all you care about is yourself. And the voice of mine that tells you to do that, that sounds heavenly. That doesn't exist. It's by design. It's a personality. And that's your reality in your mentality. Do you know what it's like that you're the only one, and there's nobody even remotely close to you, not even one other person that I can have a genuine conversation with. I'm alone. I'm the most alone person in the whole world, and there's nobody anything like me, and there's no one that understands, and there's no one that can feel the way I do. There's no one that knows the truth at all. Only their imagination running wild. Only their illusion and imagination and a voice of mine that tells them to do that. And they got no feelings. They got no divine power. They got no feelings. They got no aura in their body cells. They don't have any. They live in a delusional state. They live inside their mind, in their mentality. And that's their reality. And that's the only reality they care about. What's in their mind with a voice of mind, ultimately designed from extinction. It's only a personality. It's only a personality. And you're living in a personality. You do not cross over. You don't want to be resurrected. You don't want to cross over. I'm the only one that teaches the resurrection of humanity. The only one. You were told, I'll come with every sign, and I will teach the resurrection to cross over. And the Bible tells you there will only be one witness that will teach the resurrection to protect the elect. And you all think in the end times, every scholar, every pastor, every preacher says we're right near the end, but where is the witness with the resurrection and the elect? I'm right here in front of you, fucking idiots. You filthy reptilian mentality. I'm right in front of you. And have been for 5 years, you stupid reptilian mentality. You know it's the end times. You know the end is 227. You know you got this much left. And nobody believes in the witness, and no one believes in the elect. With a great resurrection humanity. With a great resurrection to cure the human condition, to cross over and never suffer again. Yet I'm here and nobody believes in it. That's how mentally insane and self-centered every human being on earth is. That's how mental they are. All they care about is what's going on in their mind, and they're only pinching and text trolling like an idiot, like a fucking robot. All they care about is themselves and listening to themselves. And listen to the voice of mind that tells them to do that. And that's the only fate. That's the only perceived effect they got. Themselves, trapped in themselves. Into themselves, trapped in themselves, in themselves, in themselves. Self-envy, self-pride, actors, robots, and zombies. Post-transhumans. You can't think instinctively. You can't use mental telepathy, ESP, remote UN telekinesis, levitation, spoon-bending, clock winding, folding space and time with deja vu. You're delusional. You can't use dimensional thinking. You can't use your sixth sense, and that's your spirituality, not your mentality. Love, the quantum mechanic of a relationship, is the meaning of life, right? The meaning of life is love, unconditional love, where you sacrifice everything for your child, to be innocent and to be selflessness, to be innocent and to be selflessness, where you sacrifice every single thing for every child, for every single soul, to save them from their personality and their ridiculous inverted mentality, trapped inside their mind, with a demon in the mind that controls them, that they give consent to on a daily basis, without even realizing it. Without even realizing it. They have amnesia. They cannot use their natural selection and their natural masochists. They have amnesia. They don't even care. They have no feelings. They come to their own conclusion with reasoning, which is the age of nefarious, which means nefarious lives in their mind. That's only a personality, and they live in a comfort zone. And that's all they do. They never stick their head to the light end tunnel, described in 15 books by Plato, the greatest philosopher of all time. And they studied Plato and the human conditioning for 45 years and found the cure of the human conditioning that's going to save humanity for the first time in human history. As my DNA, I bring the cure of the human condition to humanity. I resurrect humanity with the book Freedom of Certificates held by 16,000 scholars, the Holy Grail of life that's going to save humanity. And we're not breathing, the Holy Breath of life, who's won a Nobel Prize without a credential. You think people care? No, they don't. They think they know better. They all think they know better as actors and Hollywood spinners and American dreamers, trapped in screens all day. Trapped in mentality with artificial intelligence and liberty mutation and normalize what was more yesterday non-stop and keep twisting the power truth to suit themselves in a comfort zone, a couch potato, in front of a screen all day. Actors, zombies, right? Hollywood spinners, credit thieves and liars. Credit thieves and liars, living in their mentality. All they care about is themselves, their own opinions, and possessed with a voice mind that tells them all to do that. In 98.7% of the population on anti-clockwise, the aura in their DNA. They got no aura. They got no spirituality. They don't have mentality. They can only repair 3.5 hours a night. We repair 24 hours a day. We have a perfect aura clockwise, not anti-clockwise like the rest of the world is. In their mentality, in their 5 sense world, in their consciousness, and mental event, and mental process, and illusion imagination set up by the Rockefellers into the consciousness allowed by WF, and that's what they live in, their mentality, their mind. You can't handle the truth. You can't face the truth. You can't handle the truth. You can't face the truth. You can't deal with the truth. You'll never wake up from amnesia and the reincarnation stuff, not the mentality you depend on. When you keep selecting unnaturally with artificial intelligence and evolution, and that's what you mutate into, as declared by FDA, the 23rd chromosome, the seed of the dragon with reptilian mentality, the 24th chromosome in dormancy in cellular research that has supernatural power, has superhuman abilities, and everything I can do and more. That's the 24th chromosome, the seed of the woman. You didn't follow that footsteps. You were told in the Bible, and DNA tells you, and you still don't believe it. You don't believe in the top scholars in DNA. You don't believe the Bible neither. You only believe in yourself. That's why you're trapped beyond the point of turn in 98.7% of the population at this point in time. Only 1.3% is crossed over back in their primordial state, in their spirituality, in their primordial being, in their celestial primordial state, where they control the business from the outside in instead of the inside out, like you're trapped into in your mentality, in your personality, and you got no faith. Zero. You think you're a hero? You're a fucking zero. That's what you are, zero in your body cells. You're not a fucking hero. You're just a fucking actor, and you haven't got a care factor. You got no real love. You got no loyalty, honor, respect, moral inspiration, and current. You got no codependent relationship. You got no soulmates. Get real. Get real with yourself. You got no codependent relationships in real life. You got no faith in another one in real life. Go look at your own backyard. Look at your dysfunctional behavior. Look at your judgmental and competitive behavior. Take a damn good look at yourself. Look behind the closed doors and the skeletons inside your closet and take a fucking good look at yourself. Stop being an actor. Look at yourself in the closet at home. Look how many real friends you got and how many people you got faith in real life and how many people you got a codependent relationship with and soulmate relationships. Show me. Show yourself. That's where the truth is, and you're not living in it. The truth is behind closed doors, not in front of a screen and not a character and not walking around like a fucking zombie being a character. Behind closed doors, we know who you are. We know who you really are. You can pretend all you like and you can use any grammar you want, but we know who you are behind closed doors. We know who the fuck you are behind closed doors. We know every skeleton in your closet. We know all your evil, we know all your bad, and you will never get away from it. You'll never fucking run away from this. We know what you've done. We know what's been done to you. We know you live in denial. We know we live in a species in denial worldwide. We know you're not spirituality, you're only mentality, and you gave consent to the demons in mind, and you gave consent to fears. You gave consent to the Antichrist, anti-clockwise, atheism to design you like this. You gave consent to mutation, and you mutate non-stop with the grammar you select. You mutate to normalize what was moral yesterday, and you give consent to that kind of mutation with artificial intelligence to be a lazy, spiteful cows and dormant in your DNA, and your neural link shut down, the tree of life, and your sacred secretion shut down, and your third eye, the sixth sense, is completely shut down with 27 biospheres. So you give consent to mentality, and you gave consent to your fucking reality with consumption and all your material things in your 5 sense world, with your body and facial expression, with your 5 sense world, in your body and facial expression, with judgmental, competitive behavior. You're nothing like us. You're not even remotely close to anything like we are. Not even remotely close. You don't live by the wine yellow wiggly. You don't love one another in real life. You're a liar, a creative thief, and sit on the screen all day and merely resonate with each other because you're all mental species. You're not spirituality. They live in the underground world. Indigenous people, 450 years old, and do things in real life. They have a reputation that spreads like a virus by word of mouth. You depend on a marketing strategy to make a name of yourself with synthetic tools and synthetic friends and synthetic love. And look at you today on real TV, how fucked up you are with your agendas and your pink, purple hair, green eyes, and God knows what else. All your fucked up materialistic things, all your gay society sitting on porn websites every day and all your dysfunction be open screens all day, okay? And pull your fucking dick, and sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and gay society to the shithouse, especially American LA, with the worst defects in the world and the worst mental disorders in the worldwide, so confused about who they are. Gay society exploding out of control, child sex offenders, and mental behaviour, and then normalising this kind of filthy, low-life behaviour. It's man and woman. It will start with a man and woman, and it's going to finish with a man and woman, not a gay person and not a sex troll. I can promise you that. What you normalise today is disgusting, filthy, low-life behaviour, and that's all you are, disgusting, filthy, low-lives, what you normalise with your day today. You're fucking dysfunctional, post-transhuman zombies without a care factor, without moral guilt and shame. Couldn't fucking care less. Only care about yourself. Every one of your species, every one of your kids, every fucking one of your parents, every one of your designs, you're all the same. Filthy reptilian mentality. Couldn't care less about nothing but yourself. And then pretend you're human at the same time, and the humble species that helps humanity and lies every day and steal content like a credit thief, like an actor with your opinions and self-centered behaviour, possessed by the demons in your mind that tells you to do that in your own comfort zone, in your personality, with your ridiculous reptilian mentality. You got to be in my shoes to know how filthy and disgusting Western whites are, and can only 7% of their brain and only have a series of 6 in their DNA. And the Aboriginals is a series of 9 with double Y-double-X chromosome. And they've got all their supernatural power, and they've got their divinity, and they've got the aura, and bear the right fruit with 10 times more fruit and 10 times more nutritious value, because they have that kind of relationship that you do not have. You do not have. You're not in the Christ image. You're in Baal's image. You're in the Antichrist image. You're in the evolution mutation. You're in the artificial intelligence. You are the atheist who thinks you're great gods to mankind. Like every atheist who thinks they're great gods to mankind, and the only one. That's Americans. That's the selfish Western civilization. The atheist that always thinks they're God's given gift to mankind with self-image, self-pride, and consuming artificial intelligence because they're artificial human beings. There's nothing loving or compassionate about these species. Their personalities and NOPs, they've got no soul. They sold their soul out in 98.7%. Every Westerner, every single Westerner sold out. They sold their soul out. They're artificial human beings with parasites and chronic diseases, and every one of them. A species in denial, declared 2003 with delusional parasitosis. A species declared in 1999 that lost their sixth sense, going on a 6 mass extinction, slipping the sixth sense for the 6th time, and look at the violent syndromes worldwide, and mental disorder, defects and drugs, and stress pandemics worldwide, and confusion, frustration, delusion, paranoia, and a communication breakdown. No one's on the same page. They're only into themselves. They have no faith in what God's designed with me. And you have to be in my shoes to know how filthy every single Westerner, pastor, priest, and Christian, and New Age really is. They're disgusting animals, couldn't care less, and got no faith, got no aura. Only a handful of people is going to be saved, like the days are light and like the days are known. I can promise you that, because I am the only one. And 99.9999% of people throw stones at me, and they will be devoured. They fucking will. I know their future. They don't. I do. And I predict the future. And here's the evidence. And they don't even believe in it, because they're reptilian mentality. They only care about themselves, with their own footsteps and their own gods. That's going to take them to the abyss. Every one of them, with their fake gods and their delusion parasitosis and their fake tools and their fake Christ consciousness. That sounds heavenly. That mimics Christ. And they will mimic Christ and take them all in the abyss, and they're taking the whole lot in the abyss. The legions are many. Nefarious has got 98.7% in voltage, reliability in their DNA and their aura. So they sold their aura out to come to their own conclusion with reasoning. Nefarious. Nefarious. Worldwide, in DNA studies to back it up, mental disorder defects going through the roof, and they sold out. They're just a species in denial and a walking personality. They're just an actor and a mouthpiece. They do not know what they do with IQ, because they're more dysfunctional than ever with their high IQ and their consciousness. They've raised that so far up that they're beyond the point of return because they're trapped inside their skull and their reptilian mentality with IQ and come to every conclusion of religion and only believe in their own truth. With a voice of mind ultimately deciding things that sounds heavenly and will tell them whatever they believe in, and they haven't got a care factor. They've lost every single bit of their feelings. They lost 99% of their aura and 99% of their feelings, so they've got no fucking idea what they're doing. They've lost 99% of their feelings with their aura and their universal power with 27 biofield senses. They have 32 senses. They can only live in 5 sense mentality and use the 6th sense 1 to 5% 3 hours at night time, and that's it. The other 26 senses don't even work. Don't work in every Westerner in the world. 85 to 93% of their brain's in dormancy. Okay, their 24th chromosome is dormancy. Their genetic process with genetic memory and ancestry genetic tools is in dormancy. They don't even have faith in their own biological genes and their own natural elixir in life and their natural order in life, in their own biology, in their own DNA. They don't even have faith within themselves, coded in their own DNA with genetic memory. That's how fucked up Westerners are. They don't even have faith within themselves, in their own DNA, in their own biological fields, and their own natural organic molecules, which means they don't even have faith in themselves. So how could they possibly know anything about love or having faith in anything? Because they actually don't. They actually have no faith at all. They live on placebo effect, in mentality, in book smart education, he said, she had, and they have a relation with a book in the church. They have a relation with delusional parasitosis, and the same thing everybody else does, in a massive global delusional comfort zone. And they've never stuck their head through the light of the tunnel and go back on the internet. They've never crossed over. And we're the only ones teaching it. I'm the only person in the world that knows the resurrection and cure the human condition with DNA studies done, with divine intervention to command nature, with divine power to command nature. I'm the only one. Imagine being in my shoes, knowing you're the only one, and feeling what the Father feels, that he loves each and every one of you as if you are the only one. But you're the one that's the problem. You're the judgmental, competitive idiot that doesn't have the relationship to understand this, because you haven't got a care factor neither. You think you're better than God. You think you're better than me. You're a filthy reptilian mentality, and God knows that. He's inside me. The Father sent me, and you're a scum of the earth. You're like the days of Lot. You're like the days of Noah, with your self-centered, egotistical, trolling behavior, and your self-centered ego, and sitting on Apple all day with materialistic things and principality and power in the air that you give consent to, that controls you, because you can't master your own mind and use 100% of your brain and the God-given gift that God gave you, because you didn't follow those footsteps. You followed Baal, and it doesn't matter what you fucking say. Your mentality and your judgment and your selection in life won't get you out of this, because it got you here to where you are today. And when you keep using it, you're going straight in the abyss. You're stripped from the 6th sense for the 6th time in the 6th mass extinction. You can no longer think instinctively with mental telepathy, ESP, remote viewing, telekinesis, levitation, spoon bending, clock winding, folding space and time with deja vu, to do what Christ can and more. You cannot follow those footsteps. You never did in your life. No pastor, preacher, Christian never did neither. They never taught you that neither. Because they're all liars. They're all deceivers. And they keep dying prematurely from stress-related diseases declared worldwide, from stress-related diseases, not from natural age and not from freedom. They die from stress-related diseases, getting younger every day and mutate non-stop into this mentality from generation to generation and live in complete denial about it, thinking they know better. Bloody idiots. Delusional people worldwide, declared in the biggest research ever declared in life. My DNA is the book of life. I am the only one. And everyone lies about me. Every pastor, every preacher, every science, every fucking reptilian scum of the earth. Scum. Pure, low-life, evil scum that don't care about nothing but themselves. Just walking fucking actors and zombies. Only care about themselves. No faith. You were told in the Bible, I'll be the only one. You're told in every document since 1992, and you don't give a fuck. You never did, and you never will. But I'm the only one. I'm the son of Christ, son of David, son of Abraham, and you were warned about me. But you haven't got a care factor. Just like last time when you all threw stones at me. Well, I'm telling you, this time, I'm sending you in the abyss, and you will be devoured for 1,000 years. Right? Mark my word. You're not getting away with it this time. This time, you will suffer and pay for the consequences.